Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Rob.
What a beautiful day it is here. The sun is shining, the lake is flat, and the temp is warm with no chance of snow today. So that is a fantastic way to view the morning. Spring at the lake is absolutely stunning, and I am at the office today. This morning, the call is titled Why to Profit, and interestingly enough, that could be confusing a little bit, and the fact is I intended it to be a little confusing, but by the end of the call, I know it'll be crystal clear in everybody's mind. The fact is, getting the most profit from dealership fixed operations is a balance. Right now, it's also a critical balance, because if you don't understand what the balance is, and we're going to look at some key performance indicators as we go through this, you're not going to have good customer retention and growth throughout the long-term profitability of fixed operations in a dealership. And we're going to go over some key performance indicators that I think are critical for fixed operations. Some say it's all about the effective labor rate. So I have an example this morning of a client that started working with us just a month or so ago and had a $20 increase in the customer pay effective labor rate. Now you might say, $20, that's crazy. How do you get up an effective labor rate up $20? Well, their result was low to start with, and they weren't aware of the balance. But if it was all about the customer pay effective rate, and that was the answer, my gosh, $1,000 effective labor rate would be ideal. It just wouldn't generate a customer. And we know that in this customer pay effective labor rate, there are tools that you can use, and state laws vary on this, but the labor grid is important, and the way that the labor grid is used. Labor operations structure is important to get this effective rate. But if it's out of balance, if you use a real aggressive grid and you think your customer will tolerate an unlimited effective rate, then why not just put $1,000 in there and need an armored truck to take the money to the bank? It is a balance. Some say it's all about repair order count. Again, repair order count is a big factor here. But if it was all about repair order and the count is wonderful, but they only average $10 of labor per repair order, what would it do for you? What would it do for your company? Again, you see, as ridiculous as that example might sound, if you look at that as a factor, it does require, again, a balance. Some say technician hours sold per repair order is the way to gain profit. And I'll give you another example of a client out a while ago that was bragging. He was boasting to me about his technician hours sold per repair order was climbing drastically. It was climbing incredibly over the last year. And when I looked at the customer pay effective rate, it was sinking in the same time period. Now this is a large dealership that had over 80 technicians in their shop. 80 technicians in their shop. And he was boasting on this, didn't notice the effective rate going down, and what he was boasting on was the fact that he had this incentive for the advisors. So if they hit a certain hour per RO, they received a real nice bonus. And if they were below that, they didn't. So guess what they did? In essence, they just said, well, I can achieve that number. I'll just overpay the technicians and get that result that I want. Cut the effective rate. Customers never know a difference. And apparently in this case, the dealer didn't notice. He was just looking at the plan he put in play to get the result he wanted. But this illustrates the balance. Now, all three of these items are critical. And if they're balanced correctly, bring in literally hundreds of thousands of dollars to the dealership. Hundreds of thousands. In some cases, could be in excess of $1 million. So these are all critical individually, and I gave ridiculous examples to illustrate the necessity to have this in balance. I would like to share a story about a meeting that was held at a fire station. The fire station chief was in front of the team, and he asked the first fireman, "What is your job?" And that guy said, "My job's to drive the truck. So I locate the location and literally drive the truck to the exact location." "What is your job?" And the other guy said, "My job's to make sure that after we stop, quickly we hook up the hose to the hydrant and assured that we have water." "What's your job?" And then the guy said, "I hold the nozzle and direct the water spray after the hose is engaged." And he went on through the department, and everybody explained their job in great detail. And the chief stood in front of him, and he said, "You're all wrong. You're all wrong. The job's to put out the fire. The job's to put out the fire." In my view, that's why today's message is titled "The Why to Profit," because it's kind of like the chicken and the egg. Which comes first? The key performance indicators? To have everything in balance there? Wonderful. To have the customer counts? Everything. What is job one? In my view, this comes down, the why to comes down to looking at why. Why are we doing what we're doing? Just in the example of this fire truck, what is our fire that we all need to put out? And it comes down to number one, the number one job that we all must do, the number one focus we all must place is on customer care. That's the mission. The mission is to help as many customers as possible get their car fixed and their problem resolved. If you look at the experience that I've had over the years and years and years of doing it, I'll tell you some things that probably 70 to 80% of all the customer concerns and complaints that I dealt with personally, that I got involved with, was based on one thing. We didn't go far enough. We didn't look the vehicle over. We missed the problem. The advisor didn't write it up correctly at the drive lane or as the customer intake was done. They never even looked at the vehicle. They just wrote down what the customer said on the repair order, sign here, sit there, or do you need a ride? Nope. Okay, bye. Then we have all these inefficiencies we build in. The technician gets the vehicle, has to stop what they're doing, track down the advisor for more information, wait for the 2 customers standing in front of him to be processed, losing time and efficiency the whole way. We lose focus. We lose the primary focus of why when we take it away from the customer. Every process needs to be great, from the customer intake to the delivery of that vehicle back in the customer's hands. We really have to fight anybody that says different. Great processes are a critical key to providing our primary mission, and that's customer care. Poor processes, you can imagine, just destroy the customer experience. Write down on that RO what the technician can read and repair the vehicle. Customer intake is critical. Balanced pricing. If you don't have balanced pricing program, if you don't have your labor operations structured correctly, if you don't analyze everything in that balance, you're not going to provide the primary mission, customer care. And another thing that is, I think, closely related to this is a lot of times people will want to pressure or manipulate a buying decision in the drive lane, dealing with customer objections and overcoming objections. These are tools that a lot of people teach to manipulate that customer into buying the service of the day, or gosh, you need that transmission flushed, or you need that power steering flushed. And I'm strongly for new fluids over old fluids. I'm strongly for preventive maintenance. But I will tell you, I am so against, and it is so detrimental to use these pressure tactics to get a customer to buy. That's not why we do what we do. That's not the why. The profits. Keep your mission and your focus on the why we're doing what we're doing. Keep that focus on providing the maximum customer care that we can do with great processes, with balanced pricing, looking at the effective rate, looking at the repair order count, looking at the technician hours per RO. Never taking the eye off the primary mission on why we are doing what we're doing. And the profit, my dealership friends, the profit follows that. So why to profit? On what I would say is the ultimate thing for all of us. The customer. That's our mission. That's our job one. That's our focus. That's our primary purpose for being. Now, we do have a new technology, and Mike, if you would, you can explain that technology a minute or so.
Yeah, guys, I just have the screen share up. And what that allows us to do for now is, if you guys have any questions and you don't want your name being brought up with the question, you can type it in and I can ask Rob the question without referring to your name. Otherwise, everything will be standard. If you have a regular question, you don't mind your name being brought up, go ahead and press 1 at any time. And later on, when we have graphs and things like that to show you, the screen share will be a useful tool for this. Thank you.
Wonderful. So if anyone has questions, push number 1, and we'll be able to address those or comments.
Okay, Tamala.
This is a stupid question, but screen share, where is that? Like if
you have, oh, go ahead, Mike.
It comes right from your email reminder, Tamala.
Okay, can I go to that real quick while you're on the phone, or do you want to? Are you done with the message and want to deal with this after we're done? Like, I don't want to hold anybody else up if you want to answer that question at the end of the session.
Well, Tamala, I've got your phone number. I will call you right after the call if you want.
Yeah, I mean, I want to be respectful to everybody else's time.
Wonderful. I like this screen share feature, and we're going to be using it more. We're just cranking it up, but what we'll be able to do then is people will be able to type Mike a message, and you'll be able to see the screen he's using for the template. So you just push. Really what you would do is click on that link, and it will take you to a screen, and Mike will be happy to go over that with anybody that's not familiar with screen share. It's a valuable tool we've been playing with for a while, and we're glad to add that as a service. All right, if that is all for today, I appreciate everybody's time, and I hope you have a great day. Enjoy this beautiful weather.
To interrupt you one more
Thanks,
time.
Rob.
John, do you have a question?
Well, no, I just want to make a comment and let you know that the calls are extremely motivational and helpful, and a lot of good information on all the calls. So thanks so much for doing it for us.
Yeah, I agree with that, especially someone like myself.
You are so welcome. I'm really excited to do them. It's the fact that so quickly it turned into an international call with all these people coming on and listening.